show whereby we get to interact with the youth in various ways.
Let's stop judging people.
Send to you fresh perspectives, exciting conversations, and Bible trivia discussions, showcasing of talents such as singing, dancing, much more from guests who keep it real and authentic. So buckle up because this season is about to be and only host, Susan Bulemi. Keep it locked right here on the Family Faith Show everywhere 3 p.m. only on Capuchin TV. Well, they've been called lazy, some have been called overly sensitive, some have been called. The new word that's trending is that some like to retaliate. Who am I talking about? You may wonder. The Gen Z. And today we are going to be discussing about labels versus reality. Or are they actually what is happening in our society today? With me here today are two guests who are going to help shed more light on today's conversation. They're going to tell us if these things that I've mentioned are actually true or they're just labels. And I'm now going to allow them introduce themselves to you, our dear viewer. They are actually familiar faces. For those who've been here before, you know them, but we always have new viewers, right? So now I'm going to allow them introduce themselves.
My name is Ryan Mwangi. I am a student at Tangaza University taking social communication.
You're welcome, Ryan.
Thank you.
And my name is David Kiprotich. I'm also, I don't know, I can say maybe a former student at Zitech University. I've done media, and I'm here to shed light on this topic.
Okay, you're welcome, David. You're welcome, Ryan. And thank you for being here today. And first and foremost, I'd like to begin with the topmost question, which is, in your own definition, how would you define the Gen Z? Because we have a lot of labels that have been placed on them in our country. So how would you define this generation?
My definition of a Gen Z individual is anybody who was born in between the years 1997 to 2012. So it's just any individual existing who was born between that period of 1997 to 2012. Yeah.
Okay, how about you, David?
Personally, considering the age too, I'd say the same because you know the age gap for a Gen Z. And also I'll say personally, at this moment, I'll describe the Gen Z as the generation that owns the future of this country. Yeah. So that's why we are causing this so much retaliation, and that's why people are labeling us, like you said.
Yeah. And you've actually mentioned something important, as this generation is the one that carries the future of the country. We're going to discuss that as we move forward. But as for now, I'd like to ask the both of you, there are these labels that I began with when we were beginning the show, right? Maybe you can try and explain to us, where do you think these labels came from? David, you can go first.
I would say, of course, with the Gen Z currently, the labels come from different people. So there is what our parents label us, and there is also what people like politicians will label us. There is also what the people of our age, like us, the Gen Z, there is what we have labeled ourselves. And so I'd say it depends with the impact that we have on the society. So currently we are pressing on the government. So of course, don't expect the government to label us as maybe good people or good children. So that's where names like goons come in. And also to us, we are labeling ourselves as the wave of change. we are the reason there will be a new country, a better country. Yeah, and that's the thing that matters the most to us. We are labeling ourselves as the change for this country. Yeah.
Ryan?
Gen Zs are labeled in very many ways, but the most labels that Gen Zs have gotten is lazy, sensitive, mostly lazy and sensitive, because Gen Zs, yeah, it's true, but it's not that we are lazy, it's because we already have like technology, which is making our work easier. So it's we already have things objects, maybe technology that is doing things for us, so they label us as lazy. Another thing, I think Gen Zs are very much opportunistic, because a Gen Z will easily find new opportunities than the other generation.
And you've mentioned something about Gen Zs being the reason where we will have change in our society and generally in the country. Maybe what do you think are some of the things that they can do to fasten this process?
Technology. Technology will really help change the country and the world in general, in terms of everything, politically, economically, everything. Because these days, technology will know whatever is happening everywhere in the world, and technology will give you the opportunity to learn about anything. Maybe something to do with economics or even other courses. It's not a must that somebody goes to school and does a specific course. You can learn it online. So I think due to that technology, Gen Zs and even the generations to come through technology, we are going to learn very many things which will impact change in the world and the society in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ryan, I would also like to ask another question before we go to David. Have you ever come across a situation whereby you've been misunderstood or misinterpreted because you're a Gen Z?
It happens like every day. I'm always getting misunderstood by not my generation. It's the generations that are above me. My not parents, the Gen X and millennials. Because they term us as lazy, because sometimes they will go the long way in doing something, and then I explain to them, there's no need of going this long way, you can just use this short way. Then they start telling you, you are lazy, why can't you just go the long way, because it will show that you are more hardworking. But I just say, if the work is done at the end of the day, there is no specific means that you're supposed to follow this long way. You can just use the short route. That doesn't make you lazy. It makes you, first of all, you are saving time and energy. Another thing, we are misunderstood because they call us overly sensitive. Because personally, when you do something bad to me, I'll tell you there and then. But sometimes they view it as disrespect, while you're just watching out for yourself. Because while you do something bad to me, no matter your age, even if how old you are than me, I'll not take disrespect. I must tell you, you have disrespected me in this way and in this way. So yeah, that's how I'm mostly being misunderstood by other generations.
And I think that will always be an issue, because I think the older generations were not used to standing up for themselves. Like, no matter how someone has disrespected you, they'll just take it and be like, okay, they are older than me, I can't say anything. So it's quite unfortunate. And also on the other point that you mentioned about doing something the long way or hard work, someone actually told me before that no one is paying you for doing the most hard work. You will actually get paid for working smart than working too hard, right? Yeah, David, let's get back to you. I asked Ryan on how the Gen Z can be the reason for change. What are some of the things they can do for them to bring change in the society and also in the country? What do you have to say about that?
About the change, like I said, he said we are saving the world from maybe these current leaderships and any other obstacles that are preventing the world from growing even further. And I'll say one agent of change for us is being woke. We are aware of what we are doing, and we are aware of what other people are doing. So when it comes to things like changing how things are being done currently, as Gen Zs, like he said, we don't sugarcoat. Like, you mess up, we tell you, hey, look, this is not how it should be done. Another thing is we work smart. And being able to work smart is a very good agent of change, because working smart will save more time, and also you'll be doing something better than what the Gen X, what the other generations used to do. Why? Because they used to take so much time doing something instead of relying on technology, which you can say at the time it wasn't there. So, for instance, like, if you want to maybe change how you are being led by someone, we as Gen Zs, we believe that we should just communicate it through what? Through going out to show our concerns and everything through protest. And another good thing we are using as Gen Zs is the social media. Before even something happens, the social media is already so much engaged, and we already know what we are expecting. Because if it comes to maybe, we are monitoring everything very well. Because if something, we can notice even the slightest of things in how things are being done by the people maybe that are leading us, by the people that we look up to. So we see those things and we talk about them online. So social media has helped us convey our message to these people. And the good thing with social media for us Gen Zs is we know you will see anything that we are going to say online, you will see it. And another thing that is good about us is we may say things in a joking way, but it sends a message. So we may create a meme, and that meme is sending a message. We will laugh, but at the end of the day, you'll realize, but that meme was sending a message of certain nature. And that's why I say Gen Z, we are so much privileged, because we have that mind of reading things outside the box, like reading something. Apart from this meme, what can I get from this? It's a joke, but what can I get from it? Like when we say, we have created many memes and many things that relate to leadership. And at some point you realize that this person was creating this meme aiming at someone. But personally, I have taken it as a joke. But the person that received the meme, because maybe they are not of our generation, they'll read the meme, interpret it in the right way, the right way that the creator wanted you to interpret. And so that one helps the leaders and other people realize, hey, these people need something to be done. When you see something like this being said online, it's like they are conveying a message to us. And that's a very good thing for Gen Zs, apart from using the social media in other ways poorly and saying other things that maybe have no impact. We are also using it to convey our message. And the good thing with us is we get, when we are not heard, we are so soft. Gen Zs are soft. They'll get depressed, and the next thing you'll hear is someone is being too suicidal about something. So the thing that I can say is the generation X and the generation that is, I don't know, that generation, the other generations, they should also adapt to learning how we communicate. And that will help them change or save the country, the world. And also they accept that these Gen Zs have an idea. Let's incorporate their ideas in our ideas so that we can create something better, instead of maybe labeling us as lazy, because I've just told you, don't do this. If you want to delete, don't go this round on this computer. And that's why, you'll realize many companies are still holding the older people that should have retired in jobs, and they are still there, and they are asking, why is our maybe production so bad? Why is our, like, we are using outdated technology, we can access the current technology, but you're not giving these young people the opportunity to come in and show you this computer. You can edit this thing with 30 minutes. You are editing it with maybe 2 days because you are using the long way. I know if I want to undo, I'll Control Z. I want to maybe start over, I'll do this, I'll do this. So I think it's time that the people that are in that other generation, our parents and all other people, it's time for them to consider the generation that is Generation Z continuing, because Generation Alpha is also coming. They are already here.
They're actually here already.
More are already here, and they are understanding what we are maybe fighting for in our country or maybe other countries. It's not here in Kenya that you see Generation Z and everything that is going on. There are other countries that they are fighting. We need this space that these people are occupying to develop our country.
It's actually a global thing, right?
It's a global thing, actually, yeah.
Okay. And I had also asked Ryan, and I'll also ask you, have you ever been misunderstood or misinterpreted because you belong to the Gen Z group?
That's obvious. No, as Generation Z, the Gen Z, one thing that we feel is offensive is when we are being labeled because of what we believe in. You know, what the older generations used to believe in is not the same thing. Everything is changing day by day. Today, there might be a certain technology. Tomorrow, it's outdated. So, when you come and tell me I am lazy because I'm trying to do something using a shorter route or using the simplest of ways of doing that thing, that's offensive, because at the end of the day, I'll come to the same, if it's an answer, I'll find that answer that you have also found using that other long way. But I understand, because during the older times, people used to believe in you must work so hard to be someone in the society. So I can say I've been misunderstood many times. Personally, I can sleep from maybe, there is a problem with us. A long time ago, people used to sleep at 7 or 8 p.m., wake up at 5 or 6. Now with us, our time has changed. We sleep at 12 or 1, maybe doing something, or maybe working. There are people who trade online. It's not a must that I'm watching something, but personally, I'll be watching something. Maybe I'm not trading. And wake up tomorrow at 11, as long as I know tomorrow I have no plans. So you can't tell me to wake up at 6 and sit, like drink tea, sit. I can't. All I know is I have programmed myself. I know what I'll do tomorrow. I know what I'll do on Thursday. Like tomorrow, every generation knows what they will be doing. So they know, if I have to be doing this tomorrow, I need to sleep maybe at 9, but still they'll sleep at 12 maybe. They're like, it's about planning. The good thing with us is we know how to plan ourselves. We can't say the Generation X, they didn't know how to plan or anything, but we know how to plan ourselves. Why? Because if I know this week I am coming to work or I'm going somewhere, I have planned Monday to Friday I'm going to work, but Saturday I'm not going. So if I've been waking up at 6, Saturday I'll wake up at this time. Why? Because I need to rest. So the good thing with us, apart from being labeled, we are very much organized. And look at the companies that believe in the young people. They have the best technology. They have the best camera people. They have the best writers. They have the best news anchors. They have the best, like everything is the best. So what I'll advise the people who label us as lazy, as people who are so much sensitive. We are sensitive because we know if I say back what you just say to me, you won't feel good about it. You will feel the same way I felt.
They'll actually take it worse than
worse,
you would.
and it will be like I've disrespected you. So let's respect each other. Yeah.
Heshima,
because I'll respect you.
Yeah.
Nevertheless,
Yeah.
I'll respect you, so I'll expect you to respect me back.
Okay.
Don't label me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And Ryan, I want to come back to you. There's a point that David mentioned earlier, that the Gen Z is a soft generation. They undergo, things like depression and all that. Maybe if you could give us more details on that. Maybe what are some of these challenges that is a reality to the Gen Z, yet these maybe older generations don't understand we go through?
In terms of mental health, Gen Zs, I think that it's the generation that's going through the most mental disease.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, every Gen Z is in social media.
Yeah.
As long as you have a phone, you're in social media. And when you're in social media, of course, you will consume all types of content.
Yeah.
And all types of content, you'll see people who are your age buying good cars, buying good clothes, going to abroad, going for vacations and nini. Then you find yourself asking yourself, what is it wrong that I'm doing? I can't achieve such. I can't achieve such. So that's one. Another thing is that because we were raised with the modern world, I think we were raised in with very little. How can I say it? The method of correction our parents used on us, it's very different than what their parents used. So it's like we were pampered. Can I say pampered? So when you grow up, you find that life is more challenging, that you are not used to that because you are pampered, you are given this soft mini. So when you grow up and then you're on your own, you because you are not used to those hardships and those tough nini, you find yourself being depressed because you're not used to it. And very many Gen Zs are going through mental illness, of which is very, very unfortunate. Most of Gen Zs are committing suicide every day, both men and women. It's not only men, even women, because whatever is going on, every Gen Z has something they are going through, and most of the time it's something mental. So what I can say is that if you are out there going through anything challenging in life, just find somebody to talk to. Everybody has someone, even if it's just one person you can talk to, because a problem, they say a problem shared is half solved. So that's what I would like to tell Gen Zs, because even most of the time Gen Zs, they don't talk about their problems. They hide their problems. Mostly men, because men, we have been raised that you are supposed to be strong. So in that strength, you don't want to show your sensitive side, because maybe people will view you as weak. So just say whatever you're going through. Talk to someone. People love you, because people close to you don't want to lose you. So that's what we need to normalize in today's society. Let's teach children that whatever you go through, just find somebody to talk to about it. And I think that will really help, and the cases of suicide and mental illness will really drop because of that.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And I think the emphasis that you've emphasized on actually the men being more open, because I feel like there's that mentality of they need to be tough and everything. So I think just like Ryan has said, I don't think there's anything else I can add to that, but let us be more open, and if you have a problem, just learn to share. You wouldn't lack one person or two that is willing to listen and help you out. David, add something else to whatever Ryan has said.
Whatever I can say about our generation is we are so much focused on what is on social media. And I can't say let us not use social media, because you'll find me and my phone, I have Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I think I don't, the only platform I don't have is Facebook. But I have all other platforms. I can access content. And most of this content, I saw a content creator saying, most of these things you see online about maybe couples, and saying this about couples, I'm talking about more the girl child. They see something online and they feel, oh, so I need to be treated like this. This must be done to me so that I can feel I am in a relationship, a proper relationship. So the guy said, most of these things you see online, they are fake, they are scripted. Those content creators know what you want to feed your mind. So what I'll say is, see it and then leave it on social media. Just don't make it don't incorporate it into your life. Because at the end of the day, when you think, I can't buy a V8, I can't buy a Range, I can't buy, and as someone young has bought it, that will start like destroying your mind. You'll be asking yourself, why can't I have this? Looking at where you come from, you cannot compare yourself to such people, because you don't know where they got the money. Another thing is, some of these things that are being posted, a content creator can post with a car, and then the next time they tell you, no, I was advertising the car. And then it sounds so stupid if you realize you had already taken the, so she has bought a car. So where am I heading
and
as a person?
that is actually happening a lot.
It's happening. So you're there asking yourself, where am I heading as a person? I'm 23. 23, you are stressing yourself with things that you cannot afford. That's the problem with our generation. And that's where most of these mental problems come from, because you feed yourself with things that do not even concern you. One thing I believe in as a generation Z, as a young person, is when you ask yourself, currently you know where your parents are in life. Ask yourself, where were they at 22? Where was my dad at 22? Where was my mom at 22? Where was this person's father that owns this at 22? And then you'll realize you have no much to think about when it comes to success, because success comes slowly. And the biggest source of problem in our generation is money. Like, if I don't have money right now, if I realize I can't buy myself lunch, I can't take myself somewhere, that will stress me. And I'm seeing other people taking themselves. Another thing is the thing with relationships. Our generation is full of toxic relationships. One, narcissistic relationships. That is creating so much problem to our generation. Like, everything else can affect us as a generation. But what I advise someone is, money and this relationship should not affect you at a very young age, because you still have a long way to go. Personally, I know I have over 20 years to grow kimfuko, and also like the relationship side, kiroho. Kindoa, like he said, kindoa. I know I have a very long way. So those are the key things that are creating so much mental problem in our generation, because I've seen many people. I've seen someone fighting for something that he knows this will not go anywhere. I've seen someone fighting for money that, okay, honestly, when it comes to money, I know, if as long as you're not just seated at home, haukai tu kwa nyumba na unalala, you are doing something to better your future. One day it will be better. So that's nothing to stress about. Now, when it comes to this other thing about relationship, as long as you know what you want, who you want, the type of person you want, you should not focus on who you don't want, just to avoid all that coming to your head and then thinking, hey, I can't access this one, I can't access. And another thing that is affecting us is how we are being, okay, not our country alone, but globally, how we are being governed by people. Like, this is a generation that is very woke. Take us slow. show us the truth.
Yeah.
Because when you say, I have done this and that, and then, we will dig deep and realize nothing happened. You can't tell us, I was the one who made this road.
Yeah.
I was the one who... We dig deep and we realize nothing happened. You can't tell us, I am the one who won. Let's say it was an election, I won the election. And then we dig deep and realize it was not you. Yeah. We have seen many countries fighting. Like, I don't know which country in Africa, they just, like, the leader just resigned and left the office for someone else. Because of what? Because these young people don't want this. Yeah. Like lying. You used to lie to our generation. People used to be lied to. But we are very woke and we can see where we are going to. Don't cause so much stress already to young people who are already stressed by their own life. So if we think about what the future will be looking like, now we get more stress. And that's why we are every day fighting. We are fighting for a better tomorrow. Yeah. And that's why, like, it's good to listen to us to avoid these mental problems. Many people are killing themselves because I look at my parent and then I realize I have a degree, but I can't help my parent. Maybe the parent did everything to take me to school so that I can help them in future. Maybe they have a sickness that needs me to pay for their for them to be hospitalized, everything. And then you realize I have a paper, but I cannot do anything to help them. That will cause a very big problem in our society. So it's good to look and learn what your generation. You can't be always looking at the older ones or the people that are already coming out of the generation that we are in. So it's us we are getting in. So look at us, and like we said, we are sensitive. If I can't treat my parent, if I can't do anything, and maybe I'm a doctor, but I have nothing to do to my parent to help them, that will cause so much problem to us. So all I urge the people is to look at the mental problem or mental aware, be mentally aware what your child is going through and what your people are going through and the generation that they are in, so that you can know how to deal with the problems. Yeah.
Okay, and moving forward, the both of you have mentioned something about leadership, and that brings me to the next question. Ryan, you can go first. How do you think the Gen Z can better the leadership system in our country today?
They can better the leadership because technology is there. We can see whatever a leader has done or not done. These days, a leader cannot lie to us that he has built something and he has not. People are everywhere, there are people. So even if he says that I built a road in somewhere, then people living there, they'll just take a photo of that road, then see, this is not a road, this is just Maram. Then it goes to social media. People will realize this person is lying. So in terms of leadership, because of technology, now we will see the leaders who have done something, because those are the leaders we want. We don't want leaders who are just promising us things but not delivering in future. Somebody has been in the government for like 20 to 30 years and has never done anything significant to help people. That's how we will know this is not a rightful maybe president for us, because all those years, maybe you have been, you started as a senator, you went to governor, maybe you have been an MCA, but you have never done anything. You are not qualified enough to be a president of a whole country, because even if you are the MCA or MP of that small area and built nothing, a whole country, what will you do that will impact the whole country? So because now we have eyes everywhere, because everybody has a phone, everybody will record something. Because of that, we will come and see these leaders who have done something, in which if we elect them as the president, we will be sure that they'll do something for us. So yeah.
Okay, David, how do you think the Gen Z can better the leadership system in our country today?
The first thing I can say, looking at the camera straight, voting, own a vote. That's one way of changing how we are being led. make sure you have a vote, because once you don't have that vote and you keep going to the streets, you keep talking on social media, it's the same as you have done nothing.
Yeah.
It's like passing the ball, and then not scoring at the end of the time. So I would say have that vote. We can do nothing. Okay, we can do something, but we can do nothing that will be more successful than voting someone out. Because I can always talk about, the president, or the MP, or the governor. But the moment it comes to voting, you go and you don't vote. Maybe you spoil the vote. You spoil the vote, or you even vote for the person that we didn't want.
Yeah.
And you know very well we have been fighting for the same thing. So one thing our generation is so much aware is we need to vote. The good thing is I see memes. Like I said, memes convey a very large amount of information. I see memes saying, don't talk to me if you don't have a vote. Like, tunaongea nini na mtu ana kura? Tunaongea nini? Tunaulizana. Like, people are asking each other, tunaulizana nini hata una vote? Like, you can't vote. You have an ID, but you can't vote. So, the same way that we are trying to convey our message to these leaders that we have, we respect them, but you know, respect is two-way. And the best way for a leader to show you they respect you is completing what they promised to do when they were asking for the votes. Yeah. So you can't be telling me, I'll bring you good roads, good hospitals, and then as a young person, I'll be looking at you and, so you'll bring good roads, you'll make sure we have good roads, we have good hospitals, we have doctors. And then 2 years down the line, you've been leading, and then nothing has happened. Yeah. There is no hospital. One thing I told you, parents can make the people of our generation feel so depressed. Because I voted you in, maybe, or maybe our parents did vote you in. She is sick now, or he is sick now. This whole area, there is nowhere she can be helped. No hospital. Of course, I won't vote you in next time, because you'll be a reason for my parents' pain, maybe. My parents may be dead at some point. So one thing the leaders need to realize is we are not so stupid. Yeah. One thing about our generation, we are not so stupid. We can see it when you are lying to us. And one thing that is very clear to us already, politics is a game of lies. Yeah. Everything that revolves around politics nowadays is lies, because we have seen the couple of leaders we have had, and we can now relate. That's why we are saying, hata where's your option? When someone tries to come, no, where's your option? Oh, I'm the leader of Gen Z, where's your option? Why? Because we know you can simply be bought. Yeah. You can simply be bought by those people that are on the leadership. You can be someone's project. We are so keen. We are looking at someone, we are a project. No, let's avoid this person. Yeah. Because we have realized our parents used to vote, but they used to vote with tribalism one. And one thing about us as the Generation Z, we hate tribalism. Like here, I am sure here we are from different tribes, all of us, different tribes. But how we relate matters the most. Yeah. Our tribes don't describe us. And that's what made our country come to where we are. We are being led by either Gikuyu, Aluo somewhere, Akamba somewhere, and maybe now Kalenjin somewhere. But things are now changing. We don't even know, even whichever tribe you come from, us as the Gen Z, we will vote you in, as long as we know you will do something better for our country. That's what we are looking at as the young people, because our parents did a mess. Choosing the votes, being tribal with the votes. No, wacha tupe weju ametoka kwetu. So that's one way us as the Generation Z, we can change this country completely, killing the tribalism. We all are people of God. Let me say, I'm not a preacher, but let me say this. We are all people of God. When God created us, didn't put us into tribes at first. Like tribes ni sisi tunaweza sema ni sisi tulikuja zikaanza kugrow nini and these people are from this tribe, meaning God views all of us as one. So as the generation, what we will eliminate is that tribalism, and we will vote. One thing we will make sure is to vote. We might go to the streets, but we will vote. Even if we won't be able to do something about it, because we know there is always a problem when it comes to the integrity of the people that count the votes, of the people that share everything to do with voting. But as I said, Gen Z, we are very much focused. I think tutakuwa around. Like, we will make sure everything is in order. Why? We don't want a mess for the next 5 years again. We are already in a very big mess. Many people have died, young people, fighting for the same thing. And I saw someone say, the things that you are saying, they won't be passed. They have already been passed. And you don't know. Okay, looking at it, as a leader saying that to these young people, it's like ile unachukuanga mkibishana na mtu na siwezi ambiwa hivyo, unaongeza hiyo hapo, siwezi ambiwa hivyo. Now you are adding a very big problem to another problem. So when you're saying those things that you are fighting for, and we remember there are people who died fighting for such things, and then you tell us this time we have passed them. You know, now you have created now a war. Maybe our war won't include nuclear bombs, guns and everything, but we will go every day protesting about the same thing. So as a leader, you have children, the same thing that you are wishing for other people's children. Just ask yourself, if your child goes, and one day, I pray that one day we go to the streets with children of these people, these our leaders, and they will realize these people fight for something and they die for nothing. You know, like, you just shooting me for nothing. I'm just trying to fight for my rights. And that's why we are saying these people need to look at us. We are the change, by the way. We are the ones to save them. We are actually saving them. In future, unaweza kosa hata hiyo pesa ya pension. Juu uliharibu yote when you were there, you grabbed something, and at the end, tutaacha hizo vitu huko. So let's look at our country and try to change it as the generation without tribalism and voting. Kuvote. Voting is very important.
Okay. And maybe before we conclude, matters leadership aside, how do you think the church is helping the Gen Z be understood more by the other generations? Do you think the church is playing a role in this?
The church in helping, I think the church is really helping Gen Z, because these days every church has a youth group, in which they are educated, they are brought to mentors to talk to them. So the church is really helping the Gen Z, because most of those maybe talks that are being held for the Gen Zs is to maybe build their relationship with God more, because even if, yes, we are Gen Zs, we all need God. So the church is really helping Gen Z to grow closer to God, because of those youth and other functions and activities. And I think the church is doing a really, really great job, because even if other people are misunderstanding the Gen Zs, the church seems to understand the Gen Zs even more than maybe their close people, even their parents. The church actually really understands Gen Zs than the rest.
Okay, thank you so much for that, David.
The church is very important for us as the Generation Z. Maybe sometimes we are being told we don't go to church, but we do. Or when we don't go, we also, it depends on how you are with God, how close you are with God. So you may not go today, tomorrow you go, the other time you go. And the good thing is, like you said, we have the youth. And one thing I am very sure of is the church is always supporting the young people, because they know we are growing and we need that guidance. Apart from our parents' guidance, Ndio maana unasikia mzazi saa zingine enda kanisa, anakwambia enda kanisa.
Yeah.
Because they know very well, I have told you so many things, but I know there is something different you can be told in church. And we also saw the church also defending the youth, telling everyone to listen to the youth. Why? The youth are the generation of tomorrow. They are the ones that will be there tomorrow. This other generation is going. So the church is also looking at these young people. Which country which country or which type of people we will leave to our country? Who will protect our country in future, our world and everything? So the young people are very important, and the church is doing everything to protect the young people. They are advising the young people. Mtu anasoma, unasoma shule, unasoma kwa kanisa. Unasoma shule, unasoma kwa kanisa. So we are always, and that's why we are very woke as young people, because we are being given every guidance we need from the church, from the people outside, from the society, from our parents and everyone. So the church is very important, and I hope the church continues building the young people, telling them this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, until we become people of integrity and people of substance for our society.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. And as we conclude, both of you can give us your parting shots in regards to today's topic of discussion. Ryan, you can go first.
All I can say is that I just have one thing to tell Gen Zs and every citizen in Kenya. I know we are going through a tough time as a country, but you as a citizen, you have the mandate to go and vote, because that's your only way of voting out a corrupt person. So you can go to the streets and demonstrate every day, but no matter how many times you go and protest, the same guy will still remain as the leader. So Gen Z, najua nyie mpigangi kura, but mnafaa mpige kura, because you are the ones who will determine where the country will be in the next years to come. So take that responsibility. Kani kuamka mapema, amka mapema, kwa sababu even ushago old grandmas wanaamkanga 3 kwenda kuvote, an old grandmother anaenda kuvote. Wewe sasa uko very energetic, unakataa kwenda kuvote ati naamka mapema. Hapana, you just go and vote. It's your right to go and vote. So do that, and by doing that you'll save the country in general. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, David. Just a minute.
Apart from the labels, as a generation, we can say we are the generation that is expected to build this country tomorrow. So like he said, make sure you vote. Don't let all this going to the streets be in vain. Let's go and vote. Try to eliminate the people that are taking our country in the wrong side, and then elect the people that will help our country go in the brighter side. And another thing is, like you said, don't say I can't wake up very early to go and vote. It's just one day. It's one day. Make sure your parents will find you there. Like, akifika unamwambia ingia nyuma yangu, because like ushafika hata ushaingia kwa line, and you are very ready to vote in the new person that will help our country grow. And also let's grow in church, because to grow ile spiritually, so that we can understand things in a better perspective. See, we understand juju and then we come out. Like, let's grow spiritually and also technologically, because this technology is the thing that will help us make our world safer and better tomorrow. So as a Gen Z, usirelax hiyo siku, usiandamane alafu at the end of the day you do nothing. Make sure you vote. Make sure you have that vote. Zunguka kwa chief, kwa we, make sure tuko na hiyo vote. Tupatane, to vote, to have a better tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the both of you coming and for your interesting insights on today's topic. And like you've heard, our dear viewer, our wonderful guests have had a lot to say about today's conversation. But all I can say is the labels are loud but the reality is louder. The Gen Zs are here to stay, and they are writing their own story. I've been your host, Susan Bulemi. Until next week, same time, same place, be blessed.
Eternal Father, I offer you the body and the blood. So